Well, this is both hilarious and embarrassing. Korah demonstrates to everyone that Allah is not God. The current best female Muslim apologist states that God has almost no godlike qualities. Now, was this a silly blunder, or is there a deep-seated confusion within Islam's conception of a simple, unitary God?
Okay, but his omnipotence is not identical to his omniscience, right?
No.
Okay, so
And
these
by the
things...
way, God is not omnipotent, just to clarify.
You guys get that? Allah is not omnipotent.
People might not know what that means. Maybe just break that down, because people want to know what's the significance there.
Yeah, you normally say omnipotent, but her prophet's Muhammad, so we're not going to hold that against her. But so she says Allah is not omnipotent or omnipotent, as she says. That means all powerful. So Allah is not all powerful. That's one of the classic divine attributes. It's one of the first attributes on the list. She's saying Allah, unlike the God of the Bible, is not omnipotent. So good to know. Thank you for... Oh, and by the way, it was wasn't it during prompt 1 or prompt 2 when she's debating the women and she said that Allah is not omnipresent? She said, he's not in a bathroom.
That's right.
He's not in a bathroom and he's not in hell. And like other people are like, what are you talking about? Like it says his foot's in hell. So Allah's not omnipotent. He's not omnipresent. And check out these other ones here.
A better example that I would give would be like omniscience and I don't know, like power in this instance, being all knowing.
No, she's saying like power, but then she says all knowing.
Yeah, wait, isn't power?
Yeah, that's omnipotent. so
God's spatial, he's temporal.
Well, she says he's most powerful, but not all powerful. So he's more powerful than any of you, but he's not all powerful.
So God's spatial, he's temporal, he's mutable, and he's not omnipotent.
Okay, so no, God is not omnipotent, he's omniscient. I believe that God is spatio-temporal, and I also believe that God is immutable if what you mean by immutability in this case is essential change, or being changed by another.
You got me.
And again,
you got me.
It proved, and
you got me.
I got you there.
You got me. Woo! You got me. That God crazy. Woo! You got me.
You got baked though.
Man,
you hear she's going, you got baked though. You got baked though. She's like, my God, he's not immutable. He's only immutable if you mean like someone else doesn't, someone else doesn't change him. But he's not immutable. He's not omnipotent. He's spatial and he's temporal. So spatial meaning he's not omnipresent. So not omnipresent, not omnipotent. He's mutable as long as it's not someone else doing the changing, and temporal. So this is all good to know here. And then on top of all that, she's going, yeah, you got baked. You got baked. I baked you.
Yeah, Man, Elijah's hilarious. He goes, that God crazy.
Yeah, that God's crazy. Let's see.
I mean, woo! You got me. That God crazy. Woo! You got me.
You got baked though.
Man, hey,
got baked though. You got baked though.
Bake me,
You
man.
got baked.
Yep, you got a God that's spatial, temporal, changes, and not omnipotent. You got me.
You got baked.
You got me. Go ahead, girl.
You got baked.
Go ahead, take that one.
It's okay, but my God isn't in
Take that one.
My God isn't omnipotent. My God.
Take that one. Hey, all the Muslims in here, I just want y'all to remember, your God is spatial, so he limited. Yep. He temporal. He changes. He's mutable.
Yep.
And he not all powerful. Go ahead. We're not even talking about God no more. What are we talking about? We're not even talking about God. What do I need to defeat? Yeah, I got her to concede that.
I'm looking at the comments. That's funny.
She just believe in a created being. That's just a created dude. Everything that I just listed about Allah, that's me. I'm spatial, I'm temporal, I'm mutable, and I'm not omnipotent. That's literally me.
Oh, look, and you see in the chat, Korah right there, right? That's Korah. She says baked. She's bragging about baking him. She just said, my God is exactly like a mere human being, a mere creation. I baked you. You see that?
By
Baked.
the way, that the bake thing there, that's what Muslim Lynching had a problem with, this type of language. So it's kind of funny how, while she's kind of affirming their theology in a way, he doesn't like how she's presenting herself and doing this kind of stuff. So they have different kind of objections to why she's doing this, but this is exactly what he's objecting to, this type of baked language, or trying to dunking on people kind of language here.
Yeah, because he probably gets it that this is popular among a bunch of young stupid people on TikTok, but outside of that group, it's repulsive. And I think so. Muslim Lantern, I don't think is too bright, but he's brighter than the rest in the fact that at least he understands that.
But you got big though.
You got big. Yeah, and he's agreeing. Yep, you got me. And she's he admitted it. Oh, so powerful. And Nate there, you see it. The people in the chat got it too. He said she just described us.
Now the thing is, Korah didn't just make an error. The Quran itself suggests that Allah is a created being. A controversy that has existed in Islam for centuries. Can God have created parts, or are these just metaphorical? But how can they be metaphorical without descending into incoherent nonsense?
These words, according to Islamic doctrine, are completely meaningless because you don't know what they are, and you can't say what they are, and you can't describe them in any way. In fact, anything that you can think or imagine that they are, they're not, by definition, which means that the Quran is full of meaningless descriptions of Allah. Now, would you like me to still show you the verses?
This is like Quran.com.
Yeah, okay.
So 68, ayah 42. It says, beware of the day of the shin of Allah will be bared, and the wicked will be asked to prostrate. But they
You
will
do
not be able
realize
to.
that they're not talking about the literal shin of Allah, it's metaphorical.
No.
It's literally metaphorical.
You're talking about...
Do you take everything
No,
in
one
the
second.
literal
One second. Guys, let's try to have an intelligent conversation. Are you saying that Allah doesn't have a shin?
Allah doesn't
We
have
don't
Are you
know.
saying Allah
I
doesn't
don't
have a
know.
shin?
We don't know if he has a shin.
Right, so let me
have a leg,
address
yes
my
or no?
point to you, sister.
Do you have a leg, yes or
So
no?
the Quran
Do you have a leg, yes or no?
says that Allah has a shin.
Do you have a
right?
leg, yes or no?
Says he has hands.
Ah,
Says
do
he
you
has
have a shin,
eyes.
yes
Do you
or no?
realize that
Let me
things can be
finish. You're
different?
still not listening.
do you have a-
You're
do you have
still
a
not
shin, yes or
listening.
no?
Less
Do you have a
emotion,
shin, yes or
more
no?
intellect. It'll help everybody.
Do you have a shin,
okay?
yes or no?
So
No.
Allah has a shin.
Do you have-
That's what the Quran says. But you've just
It
said,
does,
you've
but
just
it
said,
is my-
we
my
don't
position,
know
huh?
what that
Even-
means.
even-
But the
yeah,
Quran
he
says
does-
it
he
is
does
clear
have
guidance.
But-
If you don't know what it means, it's
Because I know
not
what it
clear
means.
guidance.
Right. well,
That's
in
my point.
In conclusion, when they talk about the shin, they mean it in a
Oh,
metaphorical
notice you're not
sense.
interrupting now.
I
Suddenly it went quiet.
No, because
Suddenly it went quiet.
He just said it is a literal word.
I agree with it, but
The
you
word
No,
is
I'm listening to
literal.
her.
The
Stop
meaning
being
of the
rude.
whole word
Sorry, go
is
on, sister.
metaphorical. Do you take everything in a literal sense?
Right.
Do you take all sentences in their literal sense?
So let me address
We
that
don't
point.
know what Allah looks like. We don't know at all. There was one prophet
Yeah.
who got a glimpse of Allah,
Yeah.
and there were mountains that were literally
Destroyed
blown
Moses.
away.
Moses.
Yes.
And Ibn Kathir
We've
said it
never
was because
seen
the
him.
fingertip of Allah touched the mountain. That's what Ibn Kathir
No,
says.
it's not like
That's what
our
Ibn
fingertip.
Kathir.
You have the same
Right.
fingertip as an animal.
But
You
the
have
point
same
is,
fingertip as
but
an
the point
animal.
is,
We have not
You
seen
have-
that
Allah.
means that
We don't know
Allah,
what he
that means
looks
that Allah entered His
You
creation.
have, you have the-
That means that Allah entered His creation.
When discussing Surah 68:42, Ibn Kathir actually highlights a fact that is often overlooked. He does not merely cite hadith that some scholars understood as evidence that the sak is connected to an attribute of Allah. He also records the explanations of early Muslim scholars who understood yukshafu and sak as an Arabic idiom describing a day of overwhelming hardship and terror. This shows that the debate surrounding this verse is not a modern invention. It has been present within the classical Islamic tradition from the very beginning. The question is simple. If the meaning of the verse is truly clear, why did Ibn Kathir preserve two different lines of interpretation in his own commentary? How could scholars who shared the same language, the same scripture, and the same Islamic tradition still end up divided over the meaning of a single verse? This is where the criticism becomes sharp. The issue is not whether one prefers a literal or a metaphorical interpretation. The issue is that the classical Islamic sources themselves reveal the absence of a universal consensus. If the earliest scholars were divided over whether this passage refers to an attribute of Allah or simply describes the horrors of Judgment Day, then the claim that its meaning is completely clear becomes difficult to maintain. The disagreement itself suggests that the underlying question was never fully settled, even among some of the most respected authorities in the history of Islamic exegesis.
That means that Allah entered his creation.
Entered his creation?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
now,
Now.
okay, you asked
So
me
my
a
point
question.
to you is that these descriptions that we find in the Quran are totally meaningless descriptions. They are meaningless words. According to logic.
What logic?
I'll
Whose
explain
logic?
it to you.
My logic is different
If
than
you-
yours.
if you-
Her logic is different
No,
than yours.
logic is universal.
No, what do you mean?
No,
It's
logic
not the
is
same.
universal.
No, it's not universal.
Let's do this like
It's not
intelligent
universal.
people.
Okay, give me
Less
an example.
emotion.
Let me give me an example.
Less
Give me
emotion.
an example.
Less
I
emotion.
need to-
More
give me an
intellect.
example.
Less
Give me an
emotion.
example.
More intellect.
Give me an example.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example.
Okay, give me an
I'm
example.
going to give you an example.
Okay.
Okay?
What's
Your
it?
Quran that we just
no,
read.
No, the Quran.
No,
You
you
said
don't
that
get
the
to.
common
No,
sense is-
you
Huh?
don't
You
get.
just said-
No.
What do
No.
you mean, no?
No.
What do you mean, no?
You don't get to
already talked
dictate
about
the
ayah,
example.
And you didn't tell me what to do.
You don't get to dictate the
And
example.
you didn't tell me what to do.
You just tried to do it to me, practice what you preach.
No.
Now, as I was saying,
What you saying?
your Quran states that Allah has a shin.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay, one second. Okay. Now, do you have a shin? Yes or no?
I have a shin, yes.
Okay. An animal have a shin? Yes or no?
Many animals have a shin.
Does it look alike?
No, they don't.
Okay. Allah has a shin, but it's not like we seen. We never
Okay,
seen it.
so 1 second.
Huh?
It's a special shin. It's a special
We
shin,
don't have-
but
we
it
haven't
sits in
seen
the
him.
category of shins. That's the
Okay.
point. It's a
Exactly,
type
he has
of
a
shin.
hand. He has a hand.
You see, you're not
But
even
we do
following
not-
the logic.
we don't
You're
understand.
not even following the logic. You're too emotional. Calm down.
I'm
Drink
down,
less
I'm down.
coffee.
You calm down.
Don't
I'm
get
down.
excited. There's
I'm
nothing
chill.
to be afraid of.
I'm not afraid.
This is just a
Do I
nice
look afraid?
conversation. Yes, you do. You're shivering.
No, he-
Now, let me explain, bro. What you did just then on camera is what you did is you created a category of shin, and then you put two animal shins in that category, and then Allah's shin in that category, and you said
Are
that
you
they
an animal?
just
Are
don't
you
look
an animal?
alike.
He said that I just
Did you all? Did you follow the logic? Did you follow the logic?
I didn't say two animals.
Right.
I
Yes,
said,
you
do
did.
You have an animal?
Yes, you did.
No, I compare
So-
you with an animal.
so-
I didn't say two
So
animals.
shin
I didn't say
is a
two animals.
category.
I
Do I have a shin?
Of course you do.
Does a cow have a shin?
Of course you do.
Does Allah have a shin?
Allah has it, but it's not like.
There you
what
go.
you said.
Allah has the category of shin. He shares that category with created things.
It's a contradiction in your Quran. It's not.
Right. So what is the shin? What is the shin of Allah?
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know.
We don't know everything. We know what He revealed to us.
So the word is meaningless
What do you mean it's meaningless?
because it doesn't communicate anything.
No, because we don't know how.
What does
how
it
big
communicate?
Huh?
What does it communicate?
What do you mean?
What? So I'll explain exactly what I mean.
Okay.
I am saying that if you devoid the word shin entirely and completely of all conceivable meaning, then the word shin is equivalent to the word blah. It is a blah. So saying that Allah has a shin is the equivalent of saying Allah has a blah if the word shin doesn't mean anything.
Some scholars argue that the meaning of these passages is known, even though the manner in which they apply to Allah remains unknown. Others maintain that the true meaning is known only to Allah and should be left entirely in His hands. A third group interprets these passages metaphorically, viewing them as figurative language rather than literal attributes. When a single verse gives rise to three different approaches, a simple question emerges: which approach is actually intended by the text itself? If the revelation is truly clear, why do its readers require such different methods to explain what it means? The issue is not merely that scholars disagree, the issue is that these three approaches do not begin with the same conclusion. One group says the meaning is known, another says the meaning is ultimately unknown, a third argues that the meaning must be understood metaphorically. These are not minor differences in detail. They represent fundamentally different ways of reading the same passage. If the text is truly explicit, why do scholars continue to disagree about the most basic method for understanding it? This is where the criticism becomes sharper. If tafwid is correct, then metaphorical interpretation becomes unnecessary. If metaphorical interpretation is correct, then why should the meaning be left entirely to Allah? And if bila kaif is the correct approach, why do some scholars feel compelled to move away from the apparent meaning and search for another explanation? The fact that these three methodologies continue to coexist within the Islamic tradition suggests that the underlying question has never been fully resolved.
Yep, this is This is the problem we have in Islam.
In Islam, we believe in one God. Exactly. It is so simple in Islam. Not like Christianity with the Trinity. We just believe in one God. With two right hands. He has what now? He has two right hands. So Allah has created parts. No. Why would you think? Because hands are created. So Allah has created parts. No. Why would you think? No, Allah's hands are different. They bear no resemblance to our hands and are beyond human comprehension. You don't say how. But he has hands, and both of them are right hands. Yes, but Allah's hands are special. Try not to imagine it.
Special. Yeah, it's special.
Don't worry about it, Habibi. This is still so much simpler than the Trinity.
Very simple.
You just believe in one God who has two right hands and a shin. A shin. Yes, the Quran says to beware of the day when Allah will expose his glorious shin. So he has a shin, which means he has a physical part. No. Why would you think? No, Allah is not a creature, so he doesn't have created parts. You don't say how. Then how can he have two right hands and a shin? Listen, Habibi, this is beyond our comprehension. We cannot understand how Allah has body parts that are also not really body parts. But we know Allah has two right hands and a shin and a face and eyes and a giant foot that he will place over hell. But don't try to imagine it. And remember, this is so much simpler than the Trinity. It's because that's why.